Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining me on the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. I am your host, Derek Lane, and once again, I think we should have a really good show here this time around, and I'm so glad that you're joining me. Today, we're going to be dealing with attention span, attention deficit, and how it affects you. Even if you think, I don't have it, and you probably don't have it, there are distractions that keep us from our path to success. So having said that, let's just jump into it, shall we? Thank you. Okay, all right. Thank you so much once again. Okay, on the topic of attention, we know that a goldfish has an attention span of 9 seconds. Interestingly enough, the new research has come out that indicates that humans now have an attention span of 8 seconds. So we have less attention span than a goldfish. That becomes a problem. That is a problem. Why is it that our attention span has dropped so much when we're capable of great things? Our minds are just a vast, vast machine capable of anything, capable of miracles, and yet we allow ourselves to be distracted so easily. And I've whittled it down to a few things. Obviously, television is a great promoter of attention deficit. When you're bombarded with 15-second commercials, 30-second commercials, 30-minute television shows with those commercials packed inside, of course your attention is going to be challenged. Of course it will. There's a whole lot of information being put out there and pushed into your brain in a short period of time. So that affects our attention. Video games. Now, admittedly, I'm not a video gamer. Never really got into it. But I know plenty of people that just love video games. And, just with everything that's going on in these games and shooting and killing and capturing and whatever it is that they do in these games, your attention span is being challenged. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some positive aspects to, some video gaming, developing, quick readiness, being able to stand on your feet, those things. But by and large, technology, your phone, oh my God. I mean, just take a look when you're walking around the streets of your town. How many people are walking with their head down and their phone out in front of them, sometimes nearly being clipped by a vehicle because they're so glued and onto their phone because, oh my God, I almost missed a tweet from somebody that I don't know. Come on, give me a break. Folks, your attention span is hurting you. When you can't put your phone down to converse. I've been in the banks, I've been in restaurants where people rudely, might I add, walks up to the counter with their phone in front of them, paying more attention to the phone than the clerk that's ready to help them. Rude, not helpful. Please don't be one of those people. Please. If your attention span is that short and minute, you need to fix it. So what do we do to fix it? What do we do to fix our attention span? Well, the first thing is to realize the mind is a muscle. You have to exercise it in such a way to expand what what your goal is. If you're a bodybuilder, you're working on, biceps, you focus on biceps. If you're a bodybuilder and you're working on, your legs and quadriceps, you focus on those. So you put your focus on what you want to achieve. And if your attention span is holding you back, it's causing you to be, all over the place and not really getting anything done. And that happens. You're not really achieving anything. You're just treading water. You're just out there paddling along, not getting anything done because you can't focus on one thing long enough to see it through to achieve your goals. Okay, so I'm a huge proponent of reading books. You know that. If you listen to the podcast Readers Are Leaders, you understand some of the reasons why reading books is an important aspect of your success. The ability to sit down and talk with family and friends and have intelligent conversations, not meaningless, who won Dancing with the Stars, but meaningful conversations, things that matter, helps develop your attention. Volunteering to help others, especially people in need. If you're a person that has a caring soul, please help people in need. Whether it's going to a nursing home and maybe reading a book to an older, mature person, whether it's just helping out in your community with the youth and help children that maybe have learning disabilities, helping them to read, write, whatever it is. Volunteer in your community. Make a difference. Make a difference in your community, and it helps direct your focus. It helps with your attention. One of the main ways to help with your attention is through meditation. If you learn how to meditate, again, I've talked about this. I don't necessarily advocate, this yoga style. That's just not my style. It could be yours and it may work for you. I don't know, but I don't. For me personally, I don't do that. Mine is more of a silence. Clearing the distractions from me, living in the exact moment that I am. To me, that's a form of meditation that works for me. Next is diet. Make sure that you're putting in your body the things that it needs in order to be the best it can, to feed your brain, with amino acids and all of the nutrients that it needs and your body needs, that you're not just shoveling garbage in, and before you know it, that big Whopper Dopper, triple dipple cheeseburger thing, tastes great, right? Yeah, well, keep eating those. Yeah, see what happens. Okay, eat right. Put stuff in that makes you successful. Be an example, not only to yourself, to show yourself you're disciplined enough to eat properly. Be an example to your children and to the friends and family around you, to the people that you meet that is necessary in life to explore success, to travel that journey. You need to be an example. Live it right. Okay, music. Music, believe it or not, can assist in your attention. When you find your favorite genre of music, and you find there's songs that crop up from here and there in your life that you just go, wow, I love that song. It may be the goofiest, sappiest song in the world, but if it means something to you and it triggers certain synapses in your brain, pay attention to those things and listen to that type of music. It helps. Here's one for you. Black tea. Drinking black tea, again, is good for your attention level because of the amino acids that's in it that helps your brain function properly and get nourished better. So drink black tea. Next way to develop your attention is to write. Sit down and write. You don't have to embark on a novel. It's not what I'm suggesting. You can, but it's not what I'm suggesting. Freestyle writing, just stream of consciousness writing. Things, you just grab a pen and paper and you just start writing or typing on your computer, whatever you do. Just write what comes to mind. It'd be amazing if you just sit down and write what's on your mind, and that way you can see what you've been thinking about. Next is to be inquisitive. Ask questions. Always, if you don't know something and let's say somebody uses a word you're not familiar with, Ask them, what does that word mean? I've heard it from time to time, but I don't know the full meaning of it. You're expanding your mind, you're being focused on your vocabulary. That helps your attention. Getting exercise for the body and the mind, obviously, that's a no-brainer. It helps your attention. When you set out to sculpt your body, you have a goal of, if you're a runner, getting, X amount of miles in X amount of time, that helps your attention. Also, in developing your attention, make sure you've got a good hobby. Make sure that your hobbies are one that are, I was going to say productive, but they don't necessarily need to be productive. I mean, sometimes that's what hobbies are. They're just it's a way to relax and, not have to worry about some of the things that we normally worry about to, garner our success. But make sure it's one that you're involved in, that you can throw yourself into, something that brings happiness and joy when you get involved into that hobby. Know that you need breaks, take breaks. You have to step away from things from time to time. Sometimes you demand so much of your brain function, you demand so much of yourself that you forget to take a break from it. And you can start to almost unconsciously sabotage what you're doing because you need to take a break. Remember to take a break. Whatever works for you, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day. Next on the list of what helps our attention and grows our attention is Mother Nature. Make sure that you're in tune with being, appreciating the outdoors, appreciating a walk in the park, a walk in your backyard, planting a flower, watching the birds, whatever it is. The love of nature and appreciation of nature. And sometimes that meditation can be one and the same. And then finally, on our quest to make sure that our attention is being developed and not shortened, is sleep. Sleep is so important to your body. You have to have the proper amount of sleep. Your brain is not functioning 100% when you're tired, when you didn't get enough sleep, when you stayed up just a little too late, got up a little earlier than your body wanted you to. You've got to get the proper amount of sleep. This will help you in every single aspect of your life, is making sure that your sleep is proper. Okay. So the Podcast for Success, Fastlane Podcast for Success, this episode, I believe, will help you understand the attention disorder that a lot of us have. And when I call it a disorder, I really more like to call it a trap, the attention trap. I think if we do some of the things that I've outlined in this, we can then see that we don't have a disorder. We just have a trap that we all fall into. Now, some people may have disorder. I'm not suggesting that it's all fake and whatever. Some people do. Okay, I know there's parts of the brain that need a little assist from whether it's a particular drug or just some therapy. We all need help from time to time. There's no shame in getting the right help in the right area of your life. And basically, isn't that what this podcast is doing? It's getting help in the right area of our life. It's being able to pick episodes of interest and helping us on our journey to understand certain facets of where we're going and why we're going there. So, the attention trap, as I call it, can be very detrimental. Follow the guidelines that I've set out in this episode, and I believe you will see huge positive dividends in your life. And once you start to understand, I see where you're coming from, and I can see where it was holding me back.